Segment of Trojans Live is brought to you by Allstate. The Trojans are in good hands with Christian Rector, the redshirt junior defensive lineman, both forced and recovered his fumble. We couldn't figure out during the game who forced it, but it sounds like you got your hand on that ball. We did see you jump on it for sure. We talked about Coach has been extremely complimentary of the defense, but we did talk about production being down a little bit in turnovers. You did force one in this game and sacks. How would you assess the defense's play through 3 games?
Yeah, I think that we had our backs against the wall a couple times with bad field position, with the punting, and offense not able to sustain drives and finish in the red zone. But I think that we played pretty solid. I think our level of play was pretty great.
How do you guys, when you guys go into the film room, I mean, I know that the goal defensively is get the ball back, right? And you heard Coach talk about earlier that, the goal is to get 3 turnovers a game. You guys are, not at that level now. Is it a concentrated effort amongst all of you guys that, that, hey, look, particularly in this game, we got to find a way to create turnovers. And then when you get your opportunities, such as you had last week, and you see the ball, it's just a constant tugging at the ball, just trying to get the ball out on almost every single play?
Yeah, most definitely. I mean, Clancy, it's production based. We go out there with the mindset we get the ball back and put it in JT's hands, and we practice that every day. We don't let anybody run through our defense without trying to poke out the ball, rip the ball out, and even John Baxter, big fundamentals guy, teaches us head on ball, and it really depends on the angle where you're at on the field and where the runner is. Ripping the ball out, putting their helmet to the ball, or knocking it out with a punch, and deciding which to do in a certain situation. And even in making plays like sack fumbles and interceptions, which we haven't gotten yet, but we preach that a lot, especially in camp and in practice.
Yeah, one of the things that's really changed the game on the defensive side of the ball is this targeting rule. And I think we can all agree that in the spirit of the rule, and we want player safety to be first and foremost. I'm just wondering,
especially the receivers.
Yes, I'm sure. Well, we certainly don't want to see what happened to Amon-Ra in that game as a great example. But you take the Porter Gustin spot, and it's just like all of a sudden in a blink, the guy's got 2 sacks and 3 tackles for loss, and you lose one of your best defensive players, and you have to react immediately. Cameron Smith in the middle of the Rose Bowl, gone. How hard is that for a defense where all of a sudden guys are just very quickly getting ejected from the game, forgetting the rule and the rest of it? It doesn't seem like anything's happening, and all of a sudden a guy is just gone.
Yeah, we want to play fast, and even you see it in the NFL too. The increased penalties on targeting calls and players getting ejected and fined, and I think the game's definitely changed in that sense.
One thing I love about your game is the versatility. You can play defensive tackle with your hand on the ground, or you can step out to outside linebacker. Last year you had to do it when Porter got hurt for the season. You're out there, the rest of the season. And then this year it was a little bit defensive tackle, and, of course, now the opportunities at, the outside linebacker. How tough is the transition for you, and which position do you like best?
Yeah, I like playing out on the edge, getting that one-on-one opportunity against the tackle. When I came in under Chris Wilson, they had me playing 4-eye, head up on the tackle, 2-gapped, and that was completely new to me. Undersized, and I had to grow as a player and gain that size. And then once I gained that size, everything became way easier for me. And that size, and with my speed that I already had coming into the game, I was able to come in right away and produce.
We interviewed.
He had the nerve to say undersized, by the way. Did
you
catch that?
It's all relative, I guess. Well, it's a great example of that is KU, Kelechi Udeze, and he spoke really eloquently about the importance of redshirting. It changed his career. He was a guy who redshirted. He came in huge and lost a ton of weight, and then goes on to an All-American career. How important for you, because you were sort of under the radar. No one talked about you going into last year. Then you have this breakout season, but you had some time in your career, as you talked about, to develop and get ready for your moment.
Yeah, I think confidence was a big part of that. Coming in and not playing right away, it does something to your psyche and what you think, like what I kind of thought of myself and where I fit. Maybe I should just get my degree and focus on school more, or maybe. And it's like, no, I came here for a reason. I can handle this. I'm here for a reason. Right. I can play with anybody on the field, and that kind of changed too, I think, in my mindset. And so redshirting, I grew a lot as a player, definitely, especially in the spring.
Talk about being a player in Clancy's defense. Whenever we talk about Clancy, it's always, he wants to give you guys assignments and then just let you go and play fast. Not a lot of thinking. Describe how that works for you in terms of the message that he's bringing to you or to you as a player.
Yeah, I think we kind of take his mindset and apply it to the field, and how he makes like every call that he calls, we believe that it's going to work and it should work. He kind of talks of us as pieces, and each piece fits in each gap, and we're supposed to make plays, and that's kind of like what we do. But yeah, Clancy's an interesting guy and really smart football mind, and I love playing for him.
Let's go into your background a little bit. So you were born in the British Virgin Islands, correct?
Correct.
And when did you move here?
When I was about 2 years old, I moved to Pasadena.
So you don't remember much from the first 2
No.
years. But this is a different place. See, I was going to say something about Tim Duncan, that you were the second best athlete, but Tim Duncan's from the U.S. Virgin Islands. These are two different places that are near each other. Do you have a British passport?
No. So I had to live there for more than 5 years, I think. I have a belongers card, so I can buy property and I have other rights.
Well, if football goes well, you have lots of money to buy lots of property. Football's in your family, though. Is that how you got into the game?
No, I grew up playing all sports, really. I was kind of oversized to be playing Pop Warner football. So
That's unfair.
So I also already playing with older kids, and I was 8 years old, playing with 12, 13-year-old kids. But I didn't start playing tackle football until freshman year at Loyola High School.
At Loyola?
Yeah.
And your mom was a rower. Did you at USC, right?
Correct.
Did you ever row?
No.
Have you ever rowed as a workout?
No.
It's a good workout.
Yeah,
I wouldn't dismiss it. Yeah, good for the back.
Yeah.
Do you ever read the book Boys in the Boat?
No.
You should read the book Boys in the Boat. It's about rowing. I think it might help with a lot of the team things we've been talking about. I don't know if you're going to read it by Friday.
Right.
It's a big book. But
is he going to need it by Friday?
Well, I'm just saying it would help. It's about everyone working together as one.
Talk about, along with your upbringing, sort of along the same lines. You went to Loyola High School, which is right down the street here. Always a Trojan fan? Was it one of your dreams to come here and be a Trojan?
Oh, yeah, definitely. I grew up watching SC football, going to all the games, watching guys like Clay Matthews, Mark Sanchez, Matt Barkley, all those guys, going to Rose Bowl games, and I just fell in love with it. I was definitely a bigger college football fan than NFL, for sure.
Wow. He considered those guys old school, memories.
Well,
those guys are new school for us.
Thanks, Christian, for joining us. We know on a tough week, but you've been playing great, and keep that defense rolling. Friday night, big test. A lot of chances to rush the passer we talked about. Then we drop back for you. Washington State again, 7:30 kick. ESPN LA 7:10. Forget 2 points for safety. Try up to 20% with the Allstate Distinguished Driver Discount. Safe drivers can instantly save up to 20% on car insurance just for having a clean driving record. And that's on top of other discounts. Call 1-410 Los Angeles area Allstate agents today. Going to get an objective opinion from Joey Kaufman when we come back. A little media in the house on Trojans Live.